Okay, the name of the book is 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I think we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? So I wanted to give everybody a minute to get people on. And we are doing the book, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I'm getting comfortable here for a minute and getting my notes out. Today is chapters 9 and 10, and we have, 5 more weeks left after this week? So this is our 5th week. Can you believe we've been doing this for 5 weeks? It's not too late to get started with us. And yes, I saw somebody said it's been 2 days. Hi, Michigan. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so hi, everyone. My name is Cammie, and as for all our new guests that are joining us tonight, we are covering the book by John Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. We don't have to recreate the wheel when it comes to leadership. We just need to learn from those that have gone before us and then apply it. And up to this point, we've been learning different, just foundational values of leadership, pillars, laws, as John Maxwell calls them. And this week, we're going to talk about law number 9 and law number 10. So law number 9 is the law of magnetism. And I love this one. I'm going to read some of my notes because I just didn't want to forget some things. So who you are is what you attract. And there's an activity, if you've ever read my book, it's called, Denise and I wrote it, it's called Retire Your Husband. There's an activity in there about just the people you attract. And that's kind of like this law of magnetism. And, we can make a list of who we want on our team, the kind of people that we're looking for. And as a matter of fact, if you don't have a list like that, you definitely need to get one together. So literally make a list of anything and everything you want in a future team member. So let's brainstorm together, okay? Let's think of, I want somebody who's consistent, committed, hard worker, positive, I'm trying to think, driven, yes, driven. See, now here we go, motivated, we can start doing things, and you should have a list, right? Because we're always out on the lookout for that next rock star, that next runner in our business. Visionary, coachable. You guys are getting on a roll for sure now. Positive, we did say that. I think consistent, somebody who plugs in, somebody who's a team player. They don't just take care of themselves, they take care of their team and their sidelines. We all know that the better it works does, the better we all do, right? Trustworthy, dedicated, right? Loyal. How about loyal? I like the word loyal. So you've got to make this list, and you can't just stop there. And I've done this activity at so many trainings where I'm like, okay, make a list of everything you want in a future dream distributor, a recruiting machine, customer gatherer, great on social media, great online, keep digging deep to build that list. Now, how many of you have gone to look at new vehicles, and perhaps you try a vehicle you've not really seen before, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I've never seen this car before. And the minute you leave that car lot, guess what? You see that car everywhere. It happens to me every time. Once you put this list together, you're going to start meeting people that portray these characteristics on your list. Now, here's the kicker, okay? Because, this mental list of people you want on your team will keep you alert to meeting people like that. But that doesn't mean that just because that's what you want on your team is what you'll have on your team or what you'll attract to your team. Is it possible to recruit people that are not like you? Absolutely. But it's not the normal. Who you get to join your team is not determined by what's on your list. It's about who you are. So when you look at that list, here's what I want you to do. On a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being I'm there and I've arrived, 1 being, whoa, not even close. I want you to rank where you are at those different words you said and you wanted in a dream distributor, a dream team member. Because here's what you're going to find. If you're 5 or under, you really need to work on that. If you're over 5, awesome, you're getting closer. But really you need to aim to be 8, 9, or 10 of those things that you want in your distributor. Because chances are, remember we were talking about the law, I think it was called the law of respect, where people sign up with people that have just done more than they have. They've gone farther than, they have more experience. People want to sign up with people like that. So if you think, gosh, I'm a 10, then you're going to attract 8 and 9s. If you're like, oh, I'm probably a 6, then you're going to attract 5s and 4s. The same is true here with the law of magnetism. So, you know, as you look at that list, that's a great list to work from to improve in areas for yourself. And I'll tell you what, as I was reading chapters 9 and 10, this was like huge accountability for me. Because how many times are you like, gosh, my team is so negative right now, or my team is so disengaged? It's a great way to look in the mirror and go, okay, what am I projecting? What am I, you know, wow, I need to work on some things, you know, if that's what you're seeing in your team. Because I'll be honest with you, the attitude that you have, your attitudes of the people that you attract will match. So if you're a real positive person, you'll attract positive people. If you're a real negative person, guess what? Unfortunately, you're going to attract negative people. All right. So like, you know, it's a great, like, look yourself in the mirror type thing of what kind of person am I right now? Because that's the kind of people I'm attracting. The values, you'll attract people with the same values, the same character, the same background, upbringing. It's ironic, but you'll even attract people with the same hobbies. You'll also attract people with the same leadership ability. So if you want to attract leaders into your team, you've got to grow in this area of leadership. And that's why we're here, right? And I love that you are not leaving your leadership legacy up to chance. You are making decisions today to invest in your leadership legacy. And I love that. Yes, I love this song, Man in the Mirror. Whoever just said that, that is one of my favorite songs. All right, so the better the leader you are, the better the leaders you'll attract. We said that. I took some notes. And if you think people joining your team could be better, guess what? That's a direct indication that it's time to improve yourself. And I can't think of a better way to go to bed tonight than, you know, reflecting on these laws. Somebody's asking me to sing it. You're crazy. Okay, so let's move on to the next law. Law number 10. It is the law of connection. Ooh, my lamp in the background wants to be like a crazy angel light in the back. Okay, so let's talk about the law of connection. And, you know, you've probably heard me say this before. I heard somebody say that this is their second day in a row spending time with me. I know you've heard me say this. If you've ever been to one of my trainings, if you've ever been on a call, chances are you've heard me say that. Everyone communicates. I'm sorry, that was not the right one. That is one I use a lot. But the one that I wanted to say is, you know, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that is just kind of like the best quote ever to emphasize this law. And that's the law of connection. So, you know, leaders connect through the heart before they ask for a helping hand. You know, I think probably the best thing we can do first is realize that the heart comes, you know, the heart comes before the head, and then action breeds through that heart-to-heart connection. I think it's funny because he says it multiple times in this chapter that it might sound corny, but you know, people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. And it dawned on me, or like, you know, I was like, that is so John Eric. John Eric says all the time, we get paid in this business to be a good friend and to go out and make friends. And the other day, because I've got some people on my team going through some hard stuff. We just had somebody lose a brother-in-law, a husband. We just had someone get diagnosed with cancer. We have someone going through a divorce, someone that just found out her husband's cheating on her. I mean, this is real life stuff, right? And they're on my team. And I was making a list of all just that challenging stuff going on. And I thought to myself, how am I doing at being a friend? You know, let's go for coffee. Let's do lunch. Sending them text messages, letting them know I'm thinking about them. Sending them a card, sending them flowers. You know, when it's somebody's birthday on your team that you're close with, that you shepherd very closely, do you send them a birthday card at least? And I'm not saying it has to be an expensive gift, but it's about being thoughtful. It's about being a good friend. And that's what making a heart-to-heart connection is all about. And when you hear me say people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care, if they feel like just a number to you, if they feel like just a circle that you're filling on my chart, that's not a heart connection. All right. So, you know, another thing that he said in this book is, how do you connect with such a large number of people? And he said, well, I don't connect with a large number of people. I look at, or I talk to that one person. And isn't that interesting? That is how our 100-day adventure has taught us to post on social media. You know, don't say, hey guys, or, hello everybody reading my post, but talk to that one person that you hope is reading your post. You know, I don't know about you, but when I listened to this song today, I needed to hear it. And maybe today, you're having a hard time. You know, I don't know if you saw my Facebook today, but I posted that song by Chris Tomlin, You're a Good, Good Father. And I was sitting there and immediately I thought of somebody. So when I posted it on my timeline, I wasn't posting it thinking of everybody that would see it. I was thinking of that one person that came to mind that I was hoping would hear that I felt that needed that encouragement today, you know. And that's kind of how, when you're speaking in front of a group of people, still speak like you're speaking to the one person. That's where the connection comes. You know, this idea of connecting isn't just about connecting one-on-one. It's about connecting in large groups as well, you know, like communicating with your audience in such a way that they feel a connection, even with you're on stage and there's a ton of people out in the audience, or maybe at a rap party. Have you thought about when you're at a rap party, connecting with the people in the room? How are you doing that? You know, maybe it's in the rap room. Maybe when you're getting the rap on somebody, you're making that connection. You know, did you have a good day at work today? What do you do for a living? Do you have any kids? That's making a connection, right? That's caring about their heart first, not their pocketbook. So same idea goes here with this law of connection when it comes to leadership. Ooh, I thought this was a good one too. Leaders are always it's always the leader's job to initiate the connection. So let's say maybe you're having a difficult time with somebody. You know, you know, maybe you're having a difficult time with somebody and you can't really figure out what's going on. Well, as leaders, it's our job to take the high road and to build that connection, to work on building that connection first. Here's the deal. When you do a good job of making connections with people, when you do a good job of taking care of people's hearts, you know what that's going to breed? It's going to breed a really strong work ethic, and it's going to breed loyalty. And in a business like this, where people don't pull a paycheck, it's straight line commissions, you know, people don't have to be here. And if it's not fun, if it's not fulfilling, chances are they're not going to be here, especially if things don't blow up in their business overnight. And we all know, even if they blow up overnight, there's going to be seasons where you hit plateaus. And again, if you're not having fun, if you're not having those connections, if you don't feel like people really care about you, then why are you going to stick around? And I really think that this has been, for me personally, the heartbeat of my business. And, you know, the first 5 people that I signed up were the people that took me to ambassador. They're still here with me today. And I don't think that's by accident. I think it's because we built that heart connection. So, you know, another thing I think I would say is there are some people that will put up such thick walls, they won't let you in. All you can do is try and do your best and continue to set an example and lead with love. But I also think sometimes I get phone calls a lot from people that are like, you know, oh, they dropped off the face of the earth again, or I can't figure out what's wrong with this person. My first question is going to be, well, you know, is their marriage okay? Are their kids okay? Is somebody sick? Are they sick? How well do you know your team? And again, that goes back to that idea of, am I being a good friend? Am I being thoughtful? Okay. So like I said, when you do a good job building the heart-to-heart connection, you're going to build a strong loyalty and work ethic with your team, which is huge, right? And that obviously breeds more activity and greater results in our business. And for those of the people that don't walk into this business just like stud marketers, that was not me, but I'm thankful people were patient with me and saw something before I saw it in myself. And that's another piece of building that connection, is really believing in people before they believe in themselves. Oh, you know, I don't think self-sabotage has anything to do with this at this moment. You know, we need to remember as leaders, we do not want to pick apart and tell people what their problems are. We need to personally work on what we can control. And that's what this book is all about. So I really want to stay away from like making diagnoses on other people, and let's just bring it back to areas we need to grow in. And so for me personally, somebody just asked if I'm in Amway. No, I'm not in Amway. I'm in It Works, and you can look me up on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube at Cami Dempsey. So let's get back to working on us, right? Because that's why we're here, is to take the level up a notch in our leadership and to increase our ability to connect. And, you know, I really wanted to close with this from that chapter on the law of connection. To lead yourself, use your head. To lead others, use your heart. and you can never go wrong. And I thought, isn't that true? That's so stinking true. And I know personally, this is an area I can grow in. And I really believe that, you know, if our span of care is too large, meaning we're trying to take care of too many people, we can really, that's when I know I'm failing miserably in this area of connecting. That's why the other day it was like a gut check. It was like, I've got some really tough stuff going on. And so I just really prayed for them. And then I thought, what would a good friend do with people like this really hurting? And so I tried to do what a friend would do and connect, right? So those are the 2 laws that we covered this week. The law of magnetism. So do that activity for me. I'd love to see those lists. You can message me on Facebook. You can screenshot and throw it up on Facebook, but I want to see your list of your dream distributor, and then put the numbers beside it so you can really hold yourself accountable for areas you need to grow in. And if you just feel like right now that the people you could be sponsoring could be a whole lot better, chances are you need to work on yourself and get a lot better yourself, because remember, you attract who you are. And while chances are you might attract somebody not like you, that's very rare and far between. So work on yourself, focus on yourself, try not to blame shift, look at others, you know, move into management mode, because that's definitely not leadership. And then, you know, maybe tonight, write down a few people on your team that you're concerned about. And then instead of trying to pick them apart, maybe think how you could connect with them better. So we have some action steps tonight. And then next week, we're going to read chapters 11 and chapter 12. If you're just now starting with us, it's never too late to start with us. And chapter 11 is the law of the inner circle. And chapter 12 is, drum roll, the law of empowerment. I love that. The law of empowerment. You know what? Let's just do 3 chapters next week. Let's go ahead and do the law of reproduction also. Okay. It takes a leader to raise up a leader. And I think that's layering leadership, right? So we're going to do 3 chapters next week. And that way we'll only have 2 chapters left per week for the last 4 weeks. So we're moving on to week 6. We're going to do chapters 11, 12, and 13. So we're going to cover 3 chapters next week. Can you dig it? Can you handle it? I think you can. I know I'm excited, and it'll lead us into the holiday week with a bang. So thank you for joining me this week. I love your consistency, and you will never regret investing in yourself. And I got to tell you, leadership isn't something that can wait. It starts right now. All right, everyone. Have a good night.